Are you starting a calorie deficit diet, a weight loss journey, or a body recomposition journey, and you're wondering, is there a way to get the results I want without having to count calories? Or maybe you're already on a weight loss journey and have been on a weight loss journey for some time and you're actually just sick of counting calories and you wanna know, is there a way to lose weight without counting calories but still stay in your calorie deficit? Don't worry, in today's video, I'm gonna break it all down for you. First, gonna go over who should and who shouldn't be tracking their calories if you're looking to stay in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. And I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how you can lose weight without counting calories, yet still stay in your calorie deficit diet. We're gonna dive right in, but of course, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get a notification when I release a new video every single week, just like this one. My name's Michelle Roots, kinesiologist, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and fitness and fat loss motivation specialist, plus mama of 2 beautiful baby boys. I have over 16 years in the industry helping people decrease body fat, build lean muscle to feel like the best versions of themselves, and I created this channel to help you as well. Of course, if you find this video helpful, make sure you give it a like right here and leave me any questions in the comments below. I'm always happy to help you guys out. When it comes to weight loss, of course, in the end, calories in versus calories out is the king. So in order to lose weight, you need to be eating in somewhat of a calorie deficit. And one of the most common ways to ensure people are eating in their calorie deficit is to track their calories through a calorie tracker app. I'm gonna say, although calorie counting is one of the tools and does work for some people, it's not necessarily the most effective way for everybody. So who would benefit from calorie tracking and who might wanna look at the other strategies I'm gonna mention later in this video? This could actually vary for each individual person. But if you are a beginner who is looking to start a body recomposition, a fat loss journey, or a weight loss journey, and you've never actually tracked your calories before, you've never tracked macros, so you don't actually know how many calories you're eating a day, what kind of macro percentages you're eating, and what is the quality of the food you're taking in, I highly recommend it to a lot of my clients who are just beginners and have never tracked their calories to actually start tracking their calories. And this is just literally to get a ballpark idea of how many calories you're eating on a daily or weekly basis, as well as what kind of macronutrient split you are eating. But with that being said, if you are starting a weight loss journey or a fat loss journey and the thought of having to track your calories and type everything into an app that you put in your mouth seems very overwhelming and daunting, there are other ways to at least get started on your fat loss or weight loss journey without having to track your calories. Now, who might not benefit from counting calories? I personally think and have worked with many clients in this situation who have a history of either disordered eating or an unhealthier relationship with food, because tracking and counting every single thing you put into your body can lead to a spiral and become almost an obsession around every single calorie you put in your body. And at this situation, if this is you or if this is someone you know, I would say it's probably not the best idea and the healthiest thing for you on your fat loss journey to track every single thing you put in your body. If you've watched any of the other videos on my channel, I mainly talk about how fat loss and fitness should fit into your lifestyle. This should not be a short-term thing. It should not be something you're doing for 4 weeks to drop a lot of weight and then go back to your old ways. Key to long-term fat loss success and fitness success is to find a way of eating and a way of working out that fits your lifestyle and you can do for a really long period of time. So with that being said, if you are someone who doesn't necessarily have the healthiest relationship with food and are kind of the personality who might become obsessed with food when you are tracking so much, it takes over so much of your life. You are constantly tracking what you're eating and you feel very restricted and it's more of a diet feel. I would say for the long term, calorie tracking is not necessarily the best for you, and it might be better to use some of the tips I'm gonna talk about later in the video, at least to get you started. Just because you start tracking now doesn't mean you should be having to track for the rest of your life. Another thing I talk to a lot of my online and in-person coaching clients is we are trying to get the feedback and we are trying to learn about macros, we are learning about calories, we're learning about micronutrients. As we are inputting our food, we're using it as an educational tool versus a diet strategy. A lot of people ask me if I track my calories, how many calories I'm eating a day, and if I'm constantly tracking, and I will be completely honest, no, I don't. Why don't I track calories? Again, I've been in this industry for over 16 years. I've been an athlete my entire life. but taking fitness seriously for about 16 years. In that time frame, I have tracked multiple times for very long periods of time. I have used food scales. I've done all of that in order to get to the point where I am now. And I educated myself to the point where now I am able to eyeball things and listen to my body to know if I'm eating enough, if I'm not eating enough, how much protein I'm getting, and all of that. I know how to balance everything, but again, this took time, and it took me educating myself through tracking all of my food for a very long period of time. With all that being said, if you've decided you don't want to track calories and you want to try and reach your weight loss or fat loss goals without having to track your calories, here are 5 tips on how you can lose weight without counting calories. I want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Element. Element is one of my favorite go-tos for replenishing my electrolytes. Sometimes water just isn't enough, and Element is the perfect balance of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And better yet, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and no junk. Many don't know that electrolytes facilitate so many important functions of the body, including hormone regulation, nutrient absorption, fluid balance, and conduction of nerve impulses. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, and other signs and symptoms of electrolyte deficiency. There are so many different flavors to choose from, including unflavored. But so far, my favorite flavors are citrus salt and orange salt. So if you live an active lifestyle, especially if you sweat a lot in your workouts, Element electrolyte drink might be exactly what you're missing. Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single serving packs free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors. Get yours at drinkelement.com/Michelle. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Michelle. 1, focus on whole foods. So just like I talk about in my healthy habits video and a bunch of other videos already on my channel, 80-20 rule. 80% of the food you are eating on a daily and a weekly basis is a whole food that is not processed and doesn't come in a box. So meaning fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, complex carbs, whole grains, all of these foods should be the 80% of your daily food intake. Because again, although weight loss is calories in versus calories out, the quality of those calories you're taking in will affect how you feel on your weight loss journey. So that's my first tip, minimum 80% whole foods, and then a focus on high volume foods. So what are high volume foods? Fruits and vegetables that are very high in water content and fiber that are gonna help keep you feeling full in your weight loss journey. Because if you are eating in a calorie deficit, of course, you might feel a little bit hungry at times. So to curb off cravings and keep your body feeling full and fueled, try your best to eat higher volume foods. If you want me to do a specific video on the best high volume foods, leave a comment below. I would love to do that for you as well. Tip number 2, reduce or eliminate liquid calories. So this is a simple way to decrease your calorie intake throughout the day. Cut out the Starbucks Frappuccino or venti sugar-loaded pumpkin spice thingy that you drink every morning that's probably about 300 or 400 calories. Cut that out. You're already cutting out 300 or 400 calories a day. Sub for something similar. I'm not saying you can't have coffee because coffee is life. Mom of 2 little kids here, I get it. I drink coffee every single morning. Of course, water is the best option, but sparkling water is a great option. Again, eliminate or reduce, of course, alcohol. Not saying you can't have it ever, but if you are drinking it on a regular basis or on a daily basis, again, that's just extra calories that is going to affect your calorie deficit. So maybe keep to 1 or 2 days a week, but look at what you're drinking on a daily basis and let's try and eliminate liquid calories. Tip number 3, prioritize protein. So if you've watched any of the other macronutrient or protein videos already on my channel, I've explained that if you are looking to build lean muscle and decrease body fat, or just achieve overall weight loss, you wanna be trying to get a minimum of 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight every single day. If you have that number, tracking in an app is definitely gonna help you stay on track with your protein. But if you are not ready to track your calories yet, or you just don't wanna go that route yet, you wanna keep that tool in your toolbox. When you are cooking a meal, so looking at dinner, what's gonna be our protein source? From there, our complex carb and or our vegetable, possibly a good fat. When you are building a meal, start with the protein first, have that as the biggest portion of the meal, and then fill in the blanks. So same goes for breakfast, snacks, everything. Where is my protein coming from? When you are prioritizing protein, it's more likely that you're gonna get closer to that protein goal without even having to track. Tip number 4, focus on portion control. So knowing what kind of portion sizes, so eyeballing, say, a chicken breast and knowing approximately how many grams of protein are in that chicken breast is gonna go a long way. A lot of people use the hand, fist, and thumb method when you were looking at your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. So meaning 1 serving of protein is the size of your palm, 1 serving of vegetables is the size of your fist, and 1 serving of carbs is the size of a cupped hand, and 1 serving of fats is about the size of your thumb. Of course, not the most accurate way of tracking your calories, but it's a great place to start to understand portion. And remember, without actually weighing all of the food you're eating, the food you are inputting into your calorie tracker apps is gonna be a little window of error there as well, meaning you don't necessarily know the exact size of your chicken breast. If you haven't weighed it, you're just going off of 1 chicken breast, that could be up or down a few calories, a few grams of protein. So again, even calorie tracking isn't 100% accurate. When you're looking at these portion sizes from, say, a grams or a measuring perspective, you could look at 1 palm, meaning 1 serving of protein, being about 3 ounces or 85 grams of cooked meat, or possibly 1 cup of Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein powder, or about 2 whole eggs. And 1 fist of veggies is about 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables. So spinach, carrots, cauliflower. And we're looking at a cupped hand of carbs. I don't know how to put my hand to show you guys. That's about 1/2 cup of cooked grains, or about 1 medium fruit or 1 medium potato. And then we'll look at our thumb for measuring fats. That's about a tablespoon. So avocado, oil, nuts, nut butter, seeds, etc. And number 5, last but not least, but also very important, paying attention to your hunger cues and eating slowly, meaning sit down, eat your food, don't be distracted on your phone, don't be running around the kitchen, taking mouthfuls of food and shoving it all down, because what happens is it takes your body time for that full feeling to kick in. So often you might find this if you eat really fast, and you might finish your meal and then be like, I'm kind of still hungry. You go and get seconds, but by the time you're eating those seconds, that fullness is starting to happen, and then you feel overfull and you're like, oh, I ate way too much. So if you are eating slowly, making sure you're chewing your food is also so good for digestion and your gut health. It's more likely that you're gonna feel that full cue faster than if you were to shove a bunch of food in your mouth really fast, go for seconds, shove more in your mouth, and then regret everything you ate. So there you go, guys. There's just some helpful tips. If you've been tracking your calories for a really long time and you're kind of over it and you wanna try something different and just give yourself a break from counting calories, there's some tips of how you can do that. Or if you are starting your journey and if you want to get these healthy habits, these habits are very, very important. So those 5 things I just talked about, if you don't have those locked in place, meaning eating your whole foods, paying attention to portion control, prioritizing protein, avoiding liquid calories, all of these things are very important, even if you are tracking calories. In the end, remember that this is a lifestyle. So even if you are tracking now, commit to tracking for 60 days, 45 days, 90 days, whatever you feel you need to get that education and the feedback. And then think, okay, then I'm gonna give myself a break and try and use some of these tools I've learned. The biggest worry for most people is that they're gonna gain weight if they stop tracking. So I understand that concern, but if you are concerned about that, give yourself a week to eat mindfully and follow these simple tips, and then see what happens. And if you feel like the scale jumps up 5 pounds, which I highly doubt it will, then you can go back and use your calorie tracking, but you don't necessarily have to track for the rest of your life. Much like these starvation diets and all of these fad diets, this is not a quick fix. So counting calories, using that as a tool and an educational tool so that eventually you don't have to do that anymore. And that should be your long-term goal. Some people are gonna take longer than others. So don't base your results or your mindset or whether you count calories and Sally counts calories and your best friend Billy, whatever they choose to do is on them. You do what works best for you and what makes you the happiest, what makes you feel good, what makes you mentally feel good and physically feel good, and of course, gets you where you need to be. But in the end, whichever you choose, you need to give it a chance for minimum 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and stick to it consistently. Deciding that you're not gonna count calories and then do that for a week and not see a drop in the scale, don't say, well, it didn't work, I'm gonna go back to counting calories. You have to commit to it and you have to make it a lifestyle and really put in the work of 6 weeks and see where that gets you, versus the same thing for counting calories. So nothing's gonna happen overnight, just remember that. But I really hope the tips that I gave you in this video today were helpful and will help you make the decision. And remember that counting calories is not the be all end all. It's a tool. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, there are so many other options. Again, leave any questions in the comments below. I'm always happy to help you guys out. I'll also put a link to my free calorie deficit guide. Learn about how many calories you should be eating to reach your weight loss goals. I'll also link a bunch of videos that I already have on my channel that you might find helpful to go watch after this one, talking about calorie deficit, body recomposition, weight loss calories, macros, micronutrients, protein, everything that you guys need to know. You can go watch after this. If you want to know more about working with me one-on-one in my online fitness and nutrition coaching, I'll also put a link below so you can learn more about working with me to reach your fitness and fat loss goals. And as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.